inviting friends to dinner before the wedding. I had just arrived downstairs at my fiance's company to wait for him when I scrolled past a social media post. Seriously? My boss and his female assistant are at it again in the car. It's their regular Wednesday and Friday show. My parking spot is right across from them, and I can't even get to it. Do I have to go back upstairs and work overtime again? My head buzzed. The rocking black Maybach in the video was the car I'd given Ethan as a welcome to the company gift. My hands were trembling, but I still dialed his phone number. Grace, you're here? He answered instantly, his voice laced with suppressed gasps. Then came a woman's playful whine. Ethan, my back is going to break. A sharp pang went through my chest. Ethan, I heard my voice, surprisingly calm. Let's break up. Before I could finish, he roughly hung up the phone, but later, why did he kneel before me, pleading me not to break up? I contacted the person who posted the video. It wasn't until several videos of them fooling around in the car arrived that I finally gave up all hope. The man who was supposed to walk down the aisle with me in a week had been cheating on me for an entire year. A wave of panic washed over me, and I almost collapsed. The slowly pulled up and stopped beside me. Before I could react, Ethan pushed me into the car. It's rush hour, and dozens of cars are waiting to get out behind us. What are you doing standing around like an idiot? A strong foul odor hit me. My stomach churned, and I nearly threw up right there. Mia, in the passenger seat, chuckled softly, covering her mouth. Grace, the car hasn't even started. And you're already carsick? Then she suddenly exclaimed, oh no, my fake nail fell off. I turned my head. Beside me lay a pink, jeweled fake nail, and there were several distinct scratch marks on the seat. At that moment, I couldn't help but imagine them entangled in the car. My stomach churned even more violently, and my heart pounded against my ribs. Ethan, it's all your fault. I kept saying no, but you wouldn't stop. Ethan chuckled, his tone playful. My fault? Who's always saying they love a thrill? They were brazenly flirting with veiled words, thinking I was completely oblivious. I could barely breathe. Stop the car, I finally choked out, each word scratching my throat. I want to get out. Ethan glanced at me through the rearview mirror. What's wrong? Are you really carsick? Open the window and get some fresh air. Just bear with it a little longer. We'll be there soon. Mia offered me a strawberry gummy. I get carsick too. Ethan specially keeps these in the car for me. They work really well. I rolled down the window, ignoring her. She immediately looked hurt. Grace, I was just trying to be nice. If you don't want it, fine. But why are you ignoring me? That's really rude. Ethan clicked his tongue in annoyance. The young lady was just showing concern. Where are your manners? Did a dog eat them? I found it laughable. What manners do you expect me to show someone like her? Mia pouted. Fine. I'm just a lowly assistant anyway. Grace can treat me however she wants. Ethan shot me a glare, then softly comforted her. She's not feeling well, so let's be understanding and not make a big deal out of it, okay? As he spoke, the car pulled up to the restaurant entrance. I pushed the door open, ready to leave. Ethan, without a word, pulled me towards the private dining room. Stop being so dramatic. I was wrong not to let you out earlier. I apologize. All right, this dinner was your idea. And these are all my important friends. If you don't go, what about my pride and reputation? I roughly shook him off. We broke up. What does your pride and reputation have to do with me? He looked stunned. Grace, what's gotten into you? When did we break up? I don't remember that. I gave a self-deprecating smile. It turned out they had been so engrossed in the car that they hadn't even heard me break up with him over the phone. As we stood there, locked in a stalemate, our friends came over. Ethan, you and your fiancé are hosting, but you're late. Don't you owe us 3 drinks? Ethan, without a second thought, down 3 drinks. Mia quickly picked up a glass too, her voice syrupy sweet. It's all my fault for delaying, Ethan. I'll have a drink too. After drinking, she looked at me with a feigned playful tone. Grace, why aren't you drinking? Are you trying to disrespect everyone? Aren't you already acting like the fiancé and drinking on my behalf? Mia didn't expect me to expose her intentions in front of everyone, and she froze. The atmosphere became tense. Ethan quickly changed the subject. Grace doesn't drink. I'll drink for her. Our friends burst out laughing. Ethan is such a fiercely protective husband. Your fiancé might not drink, but she's not incapable of drinking. Take a sip and give it to her, mouth to mouth. Kiss her. Ethan actually took a mouthful of wine and leaned towards me. The closer he got, the more distinct Mia's sweet, cloying perfume became. The sordid images from the car flooded my mind again. I clapped a hand over my mouth and rushed out, in the restroom. I vomited until my stomach spasmed. My childhood friend sent a message. Grace, happy birthday. I received your wedding invitation, but I'm on a business trip abroad. I might not make it back in time. I leaned against the wall and slowly typed. Okay, got it. A few seconds later, the screen lit up again. All right. I admit I just can't bear to watch you marry someone else. I'm not sure if I could control myself from coming up there and dragging you away. My eyes welled up instantly, and at that moment, I mustered the courage to probe. Liam, would you be my groom? What about Ethan? Weren't you determined to marry him? I closed my eyes. He's dead to me. There was a long silence on the other end. He must not be willing, right? True. Even if he once expressed his feelings for me, after so many years, those feelings might have changed. Just as I was about to apologize, my phone vibrated. Grace, I'm taking that seriously. Don't you dare go back on your word. After talking with Liam, the pent-up emotions felt like they'd found an outlet, and I felt much lighter. As I was about to go back for my designer handbag and leave, I reached the doorway and heard a man's voice. Ethan, are you really going to marry Grace? What about Mia? You can't keep it a secret forever, can you? Ethan chuckled. Of course, I'm getting married. Why wouldn't I? Grace is head over heels in love with me. When we encountered an armed robbery abroad, she even tried to take a bullet for me. She got me into her father's company and said she'd put me in charge after we got married. She's absolutely determined to marry me. How can I betray such genuine feelings? Mia was both annoyed and coquettish. How can you bear to betray me? You said I was the one most compatible with you, both in soul and body. What? Jealous. Ethan cupped her face and lightly nipped her lip. Grace is just a trophy wife I'm bringing home. My heart and soul belong to you. Someone interjected, laughing. Aren't you afraid Grace will find out after you're married and ruin your reputation? After all, that's how typical revenge fantasy novels always go. Ha ha ha. Ethan smiled calmly, his tone confident. Families like hers value pride and reputation above all else. Even if she found out, she'd just swallow her anger and even help me cover it up. Worst case scenario, if she really made a fuss, it would just be to make me send Mia away. I'd just play along for a bit, and then it would blow over. Maybe she'd even feel more insecure and treat me better. The person seemed unconvinced. Don't be too sure. If things really got to that point, who would care about appearances? Ethan scoffed. Don't believe me? Then let's make a bet. I bet Grace will never leave me. $5 million. Care to take it? The entire private dining room erupted, everyone laughing and placing their bets. My wholeheartedly devoted love was, at this moment, treated as the most contemptible chip on their gambling table. At that moment, I felt nothing but coldness and absurdity. I pushed the door open forcefully. He and Mia were the ones who did wrong. They were the ones who should be embarrassed and humiliated. Why should I, who ordered the food and paid the bill, have to flee on an empty stomach? I pulled out a chair and sat down, scanning the room. Aren't you making a bet? Count me in. Everyone avoided my gaze and fell silent. Suddenly, Mia let out a snicker. Grace, you're so funny. She stifled her laughter and whispered into the ear of the person next to her. Soon, everyone seemed to catch it, casting ambiguous smirks my way. I looked at her irritated. What exactly are you laughing at? If you're sick, go see a doctor. She quickly waved her hand, but was laughing so hard she clutched her stomach. Ha ha ha. Grace, you were touching up your makeup in the restroom for ages just now. It felt like you were in there for 10 years. So it's true that women get really conscious about their appearance when they get older. Can't even show their bare face anymore. Luckily, I still have a few years before I have to worry about that. The entire room burst into laughter, and Ethan's was the loudest. I couldn't take it anymore. I grabbed a wine glass from the table and threw it at her. Mia shrieked. The glass grazed her cheek and shattered against the wall. She clutched her face, her eyes instantly reddening. I was just joking, trying to lighten the mood. Grace, you have such a temper. Ethan carefully examined her face, his tone suddenly turning cold. Grace, are you done with your tantrum? What's wrong with everyone having a laugh? Can't you take a joke? You throw a glass and attack someone over such a small thing. You're too sensitive. I'm not even 30 yet. Mia instigated everyone to mock my age right in front of me, subtly bullying me. And this is called sensitive? A chill ran through me, and I yelled back directly, yes, I am sensitive, and I can't take such disrespectful jokes. Ethan ripped at his tie, his voice bitingly cold. Since you're so high and mighty, and can't have fun with us, Just go home. Don't ruin everyone else's good time. Someone, seeing the situation, started to smooth things over. Oh, come on. We went too far earlier. Fianchi, don't take it to heart exactly. It's just dinner. Don't let us ruin your mood. A flicker of slyness crossed Mia's eyes, as she suppressed a mischievous smirk. How about we play rock, paper, scissors, and the loser gets slapped? What do you say, Grace? Shall we show everyone how it's done? Ethan scoffed. Don't bother with her. She can't handle it. I'll play. I cut him off. I'll play until the end. Rock, paper, scissors. Mia slapped me across the face for 2 rounds in a row. She intentionally threw her hand late, and I took 2 solid slaps from her. By the 3rd round, I deliberately delayed by 2 beats. She lost. I put all my strength into it and slapped her back hard. Mia was stunned by the hit, her voice choked with tears. Grace, how could you hit me so hard? Ethan quickly pulled her into his arms, his gaze piercing me with cold fury. It's just a game. Why did you hit her so hard? Were you trying to kill Mia? I quirked my lips. What? Can't she handle it? Ethan was completely infuriated by me. Are you just targeting Mia tonight? You keep picking on her again and again. You're an adult? Is it really impressive to bully a young lady? I took a deep breath, trying to suppress the swirling emotions, but I couldn't stop my eyes from stinging. You were laughing pretty happily when she slapped me twice, but the moment I hit her back, you get all protective? Ethan, has she completely captivated you? I closed my eyes. I'll let you be together. You can marry her, okay? What nonsense are you talking about? Seeing tears well up in my eyes, Ethan's gaze flickered slightly, but his tone remained firm. Mia is like a sister to me. What's wrong with me protecting her? Can't you stop jumping to conclusions? Sister? I scoffed. Whatever. Do what makes you happy. Mia pouted, looking pitiful. Oh, it's fine. I'm really okay. The swelling on my face will go down in a few days. At most, it'll just hurt too much to sleep tonight. Ethan, please don't argue with Grace over me. It's okay if I suffer a little. The others quickly stepped in to mediate. Ethan, didn't you say it was your fianchi's birthday today and that you had a surprise planned? As soon as he finished speaking, a waiter wheeled in a cake. Everyone spontaneously started singing happy. I turned around, and the dedication on the cake was blindingly clear. To my dearest Mia, forever happy. Huh? I let out a laugh. Ethan's face stiffened, and he snapped at the waiter. What's going on? This isn't the cake I ordered. The waiter looked flustered. Sir, you did order a 6-tier cake and a smaller one. We were just bringing the 6-tier one out first. Shut up. Get out. Ethan nervously cut her off, then looked at me anxiously. Grace, actually see? Even he couldn't come up with an excuse. Mia's face was splitting with a grin as she lit the candles on the cake. I just saw Ethan ordering a cake and suddenly got a craving, so I asked him to order one for me too. I can't believe how thoughtful he is. My birthday isn't for another 3 months. She turned to me, beaming triumphantly. Grace, you can borrow this cake for now, okay? Hurry up and make a wish. Then I'll wish you a happy birthday in advance for 3 months from now. The next second, I picked up the cake and smashed it onto Mia's head. Cream covered her entire head and face, and Mia shrieked in despair. Ethan roughly pushed me away, his eyes glinting with cold fury. Grace, I've tolerated you for too long. It's your birthday today, so the cake can only be for you. Mia wants to eat some and she needs your permission. Yes, I'm your fiancé, but I'm not your subordinate. Don't I even have the right to buy a cake for my sister? Apologized to Mia immediately. I wanted to laugh, but before my lips could curve, tears streamed down my face. Ethan, you are an absolute jerk. I kicked his leg with all my might. We are completely over. I turned and walked away. Is it really that big of a deal? Mia didn't even cry after you bullied her like that, and you have the nerve to cry? Ethan, enraged and humiliated, limped after me. Mia called out to him, sobbing. Ethan, are you abandoning me? The private dining room door closed. All the indignity and humiliation from moments ago were shut out, severing the last shred of my affection for Ethan. I took out my phone and contacted the hotel to cancel the wedding. Dragging my almost empty body, I went home. Happy birthday, my darling daughter. Pushing open the door, Mom and Dad were still waiting for me at the dining table. The table was laden with my favorite dishes, and in the center was the cake Mom had baked herself. I couldn't hold back any longer and burst into tears in Mom's arms. Mom, Ethan and I broke up. The wedding, it's canceled too. I couldn't bring myself to utter those shameful details, nor did I want to tear open my heart again in front of my parents. Dad's voice was filled with barely suppressed anger. The first time Ethan came over, he brought 2 bottles of cheap, off-brand liquor as a gift. I disliked him right then, and buying your mama snack variety pack, I wanted to throw him out on the spot. Good riddance. He's ill-mannered and manipulative. Tell the company to fire him too. A pang hit my heart, and I suddenly understood. He didn't value me, which is why he treated my parents with such disrespect. Back then, blinded by so-called love, I believed him when he said he was broke from starting his job and had been conned into buying fake liquor. Looking back now, it just seems ridiculous and pathetic. Thankfully, it's all over. Just as I picked up my chopsticks, the doorbell rang, opening the door. Liam was on one knee before me, holding a diamond ring. Grace, marry me. I was stunned for a moment. You're on a business trip abroad, aren't you? How could you be? He gently shushed me, his gaze tender yet firm. Give me your hand. I numbly held out my hand. The next second, he slipped the diamond ring onto my ring finger. He pulled me into a tight embrace, and I could feel his whole body trembling with nervousness. Thank you for agreeing to marry me then. He took out a sapphire necklace and put it around my neck. Happy birthday, wife. His rapid succession of gestures left me utterly flustered, yet my heart felt wrapped in layers of warmth, soft and full. I remembered how every year on my birthday, no matter how busy he was, Liam would always show up on time with blessings and gifts, and, even if I reminded him that day or explicitly asked, he would always forget instantly and just brush it off. His gifts were always just something cheap picked up on the side of the road, everlasting roses, silver rings, or even just a bag of assorted snacks. Looking back now, I must have been out of my mind. I had a childhood friend who came from a compatible family background and was always devoted to me, yet I insisted on being Ethan's doormat. I didn't want to give myself any room for second thoughts. The next day, we got our marriage license. As soon as I put the marriage license in the drawer, Mia added me as a friend. Her latest social media post appeared. She was holding a global limited edition designer handbag, smiling brightly at the camera. Thanks for someone's compensation gift. I'm not upset at all now, just like getting bitten by a mad dog. I guess. Ethan was the first to like it and commented, "My adorable baby." I knew he'd pre-ordered that designer handbag and thought he'd finally wised up and was getting me a birthday gift. Turns out, I was just deluding myself again. With the extended holiday weekend approaching, Liam and I were planning our wedding. Mia's social media posts updated frequently. Ethan rented out the amusement park for her, and they had dinner together on the Ferris wheel, on a luxurious yacht. They shared a passionate kiss, the sky filled with pink evening glow, as if witnessing their love. He even timed it for her to get off work, setting off a spectacular half-hour fireworks display for her downstairs at the company. The original poster sent me 2 more videos. Their regular Wednesday and Friday activities in the car remained unchanged. This time, the poster also sent a message, "Aren't you curious who I am?" I didn't reply because I already had my answer. Who he was didn't matter. Ethan's betrayal was a fact. It wasn't until the morning of the wedding that Ethan called. "Mia caught a cold. I need to take her to the hospital. You go ahead to the wedding venue. We can skip the complicated traditions like picking up the bride." I casually asked. "Caught a cold? You too? Don't you turn on the heater in the car?" The other end of the line fell silent after a long pause. His voice was more panicked than I'd ever heard it. What did you say?" "What? Car? Nothing. You're busy." I hung up the phone. Ethan's heart, which had been in his throat, instantly dropped back into place. It seemed he'd been overthinking, believing he'd discovered his and Mia's secret. Then he thought, "It's been getting colder these past few days. I was probably just concerned whether his car heater was on, perhaps worried he'd also catch a cold." He imagined me rushing the makeup artist, anxiously hurrying to the wedding venue. Ethan smiled knowingly, honestly. Sometimes Grace can be quite thoughtful. He obediently turned on the heater, and his suppressed mood of the past few days suddenly lightened. She was throwing a tantrum about breaking up a few days ago, and after I gave her the cold shoulder for a while, she's obediently coming back, isn't she? He couldn't help but shake his head with a laugh. Women, they all have a tough exterior, soft heart. You really can't indulge them too much. Mia, in the passenger seat, looked rosy-cheeked, showing no signs of illness. She feigned a weak cough twice, her voice hoarse. "Ethan, I just have a slight cold. There's really no need to go to the hospital. You're getting married today, and I'm delaying you like this. Grace must be really angry, right?" Ethan gave her a chiding look. "You coughed all night and didn't sleep well. Your dark circles are showing. How can we not go to the hospital?" "Don't worry. Grace is probably dying for me to call her and give her an excuse. She won't be angry. You, on the other hand, are always thinking of others. You need to put yourself first more often. Only then will I be at ease, understand? Only then will you be at ease. Mia sensed something was off in his words. Ethan, what are you talking about? Ethan sighed. He had only just made this decision after Grace's earlier concern for him. Grace had been so good to him, and he suddenly felt a pang of guilt, so much so that he didn't want to get tangled with Mia anymore, at least not for a while. He was silent for a few seconds, his tone wistful. Let's take a break for a while, what? Mia's expression completely lost control, and her voice was no longer hoarse. Didn't we promise to stay together forever? Why are you suddenly talking about separating? Ethan, you know I can't leave you. Why are you being so cruel? I love you so much. I'm willing to be your kept woman, unseen by anyone. I don't need a title. I won't bother Grace. I just want to quietly stay by your side, and that's enough for me. Mia buried her face in her hands, utterly distraught and practically choking on her sobs. Ethan felt a pang of pity and softly cajoled her. We're just taking a temporary break for a better reunion in the future. Think about it. After and I get married, we'll move into the marital home together, with her watching me every day. How could we keep our relationship a secret? Baby, Ethan promises you. Just bear with this for 1 year. After a year, Grace will probably be pregnant, and she won't have time to pay attention to me. Then we can rekindle our romance, okay? Mia shook her head, crying, No, I don't want to. A whole year is so long. What if you change your mind? She couldn't accept it at all and didn't believe Ethan would ever come back to her. After all, she'd spent half a year using all sorts of underhanded tactics to finally reel him in. Mia resorted to her favorite coquettish trick again, pressing her chest against Ethan and hugging his arm tightly, shaking him. Ethan, please don't leave me. Would a good girl like Grace be willing to have thrills with you in the car? Would she let you do whatever you want? You've been dating for 3 years and still haven't slept with her. What I can give you, Grace can't even begin to. The more she talked, the more irritated Ethan became. He used to fall for her tricks easily and would have already flipped her over and pinned her down. But now, he just felt sickened and disgusted. Enough, Ethan warned, barely containing his patience. I don't like women who cause unnecessary drama, but thought she hadn't whined enough, so she shook his arm harder, even trying to kiss his tightly pressed lips. Ethan, no, don't. A loud bang. Their car rear-ended the car in front. The airbag deployed suddenly. Ethan felt a wave of dizziness and vigorously shook his head. You damn idiot. Flirting while driving? Are you tired of living? Why don't you just crash and die? The driver of the car in front stood outside, yelling curses at him. He turned around. Mia's forehead was cut open, blood was running down her face, and she was groggily crying out in pain. Ethan pulled out some tissues for her to press against the wound, then got out of the car himself. Buddy, please call an ambulance to take her to the hospital. Also, please call the traffic police to handle the accident. The car owner looked utterly bewildered. What do you mean? I'm standing right here. Are you trying to hit and run, you asshole? Ethan hastily explained. Buddy, don't misunderstand. I'm getting married today. If I deal with the accident now, I'll be late for the wedding. The car owner's eyes widened. Married? Isn't that your bride in the car? And you were kissing? Is she your mistress? Man, you sure know how to party. Still messing around on your wedding day. The car owner said, gritting his teeth, practically wanting to slap him. Despite the other driver's terrible attitude, Ethan couldn't afford to care. He quickly transferred a large sum for the car repairs to the owner, then frantically hailed a taxi to rush to the wedding venue. Just as I stepped out of the wedding car, Ethan called again. Grace, I had a bit of a car accident. But don't worry, please don't panic. I just wanted to let you know I'm okay. I'm on my way to the wedding venue. Where are you? I was speechless for a moment. I'd broken up with him so many times. Was I not clear enough? Or did he simply not listen? Even now, he still thought I would marry him. Did he truly think Grace, was that pathetic? I took a deep breath and said impatiently, You should go to the hospital first. Ethan quickly refused. I'm fine, just a little dizzy. It won't affect the wedding at all. Beside me, Liam took my hand and softly reminded me, Wife, the wedding is about to begin. As soon as he finished speaking, Ethan exclaimed in surprise from the phone, Who is that man next to you? Who is he calling wife? The one calling me his wife is, of course, my husband. I was too fed up to talk to him anymore. I hung up the phone and blocked him. Ethan froze for a few seconds, about to call back. His friend video called him. Ethan, we're for the wedding. but the manager says it was canceled ages ago. His friend scratched his head, looking embarrassed. Did we come to the wrong place? Or did you really cancel the wedding? Did you finally come to your senses, threw caution to the wind to pursue true love, and chose to be with Mia? Ethan's brows furrowed deeply. The grand ballroom. Is that where you are? That's right. His friend turned the camera towards the ballroom. There is a wedding happening inside, but the photos and names aren't yours and your fiancés. Ethan's mind went blank. His friend still thought he had canceled the wedding himself and teased. Ethan, you left Grace yourself. She didn't dump you, so you didn't lose the bet. What? Are you afraid we'll ask for that $5 million bet? So you didn't even dare to tell us, your buddies, that the wedding was canceled? Ethan couldn't hear what he was saying. Cold sweat poured down his back. He mechanically dialed my number and sent messages, only to realize he'd been blocked. He felt his heart almost stop beating, and his vision swam before him. Suddenly, he collapsed to the ground, losing consciousness. At the wedding venue, Liam gracefully leaned in to place the wedding ring on my finger. Looking at the handsome and familiar man before me, I unconsciously clenched my hands, my palms damp with fine beads of sweat. Grace, trust me. He lowered his head and smiled tenderly. I know that your decision to marry me might have been an impulsive one, but I am walking towards you with 100% genuine heart. I promise to give you a future worthy of you. Your choice will never be wrong. My eyes warmed, and I quickly blinked them, playfully teasing him. Mr. Liam, how do you plan to guarantee that? He squeezed my hand. We grew up together. There's no one in this world who understands you or loves you more than I do. You like to wear loose, comfortable clothes. You prefer light-flavored dishes. And when you drink milk tea, you're always afraid of gaining weight, so you only ask for half sugar. You love grasslands, deserts, and snow-capped mountains, but you find aimless shopping boring. Every night before bed, you always read for a while, sometimes about history and culture, sometimes about everyday life. Occasionally, you'll pick up a romance novel and cry until your eyes are red, but you'll stubbornly insist it's just from being overworked. Liam said this patiently and earnestly, all those details hidden in the passage of time, all those preferences he silently noted, were gently laid before me at that moment. Finally, he held me in a tight embrace. Most importantly, I love you. I love you so much that the thought of you marrying someone else makes it hurt to breathe. Before he could finish, I stood on my tiptoes and kissed his lips. For a man whose heart and eyes were completely devoted to me, from now on, it was my turn to love him well. The next day, Ethan was woken up in the hospital by his phone ringing. He abruptly sat up and answered the call. Hello, Grace. I fainted and missed the wedding. A stranger's female voice came from the other end of the line. Mr. Taylor? I'm from the company's HR department. I regret to inform you that you have been officially terminated from your employment. Terminated? Ethan exploded in anger. Reason? What did I do wrong? The HR representative hesitated. Employees reported you for inappropriate personal conduct and provided conclusive evidence. This has severely damaged the company's image and reputation. That reason should be sufficient, shouldn't it? Ethan's chest tightened. He and Mia had been quite reckless in their activities. He was confident that even if someone witnessed them, no one would dare to speak up. After all, he was the chairman's future son-in-law and the executive vice president of the company. If anyone dared to speak, he could easily ensure they lost their job immediately. Are you new to HR? Are you not aware of my position? The HR representative's patience also wore thin. Calling you Mr. Taylor was giving you respect. We all know how you got into this company. Ms. Grace is married now, and you've been dumped. Still trying to throw your weight around due to connections? The phone clicked shut. He couldn't recover for several minutes, forgetting about being fired. He absolutely couldn't accept that Grace had married someone else. Just because he defended Mia at the last dinner gathering, he'd defended her before too. Impossible. She must still be sulking. He pulled out the 4-drip needle, rolled out of bed, and left. One thought kept replaying in his mind. She's just throwing a tantrum, right? Grace is always easy to appease. As long as I humble myself, apologize, and send her some flowers, she'll definitely cry and throw herself into my arms. After all, wasn't it always like this before? It was quitting time. Ethan stood at the entrance of my company, holding a bouquet of pink roses. I froze for a second. He directly shoved the flowers into my arms and smirked. Your favorite flowers, are you over it now? Such a silly girl who cancels their wedding just out of spite, huh? I admit, That day, I shouldn't have focused solely on protecting Mia and neglected your feelings. It won't happen again." As he spoke, he reached out to run his hand through my hair. "I've checked. Next weekend is a perfect date. Let's move our wedding to then, okay?" I dodged his hand. I tossed the flowers back at him, walked around him, and continued on my way. He grabbed my wrist, his voice softer and lower than I'd ever heard it. "Please, baby, everyone's watching. Do you really want your husband to kneel down publicly and apologize before you'll forgive me? Ethan, are you out of your mind? Who is your husband? Do you genuinely not understand? Or do you simply not care about what I'm saying? We already broke up on my birthday, and yesterday I got married. You are not the groom, Ethan. Do you understand?" I coldly yanked my hand away from his. "Please stay away from me. You just sicken me now." As if my words had pierced him, a hint of hurt flickered in Ethan's eyes. "Grace, what's wrong with you? Why break up so suddenly and marry someone else? Is your family forcing you into an arranged marriage for business? Even if you don't care about me, you should think about yourself. How can a marriage without love be happy?" I found it laughable. "Ethan, do I need to be even clearer? Do you really think I don't know about what you and Mia did in the car?" His eyes widened in shock. Then he quickly regained his composure. "Who told you such nonsense? I merely gave her a ride after a meeting. Some people are just using that as an excuse to cause trouble. So many people at the company are jealous that I'm the Yi family's future son-in-law and will be taking over the company. They're deliberately spreading damaging rumors about my personal life." I nearly scoffed out of anger. I opened the video on my phone and held it up to his face. "Spreading damaging rumors about your personal life? See for yourself. What rumor monger could invent such an outrageous story? Every Friday without fail. Those were always the days you claimed you had to work late. Ethan, you're nothing but an out-of-control dog. Look at your sickening display in that car. The company pays you such a high salary, so you can rent out the amusement park, lease a luxurious yacht, and set off half an hour of fireworks for Mia. But you can't even afford a hotel room? Even this car was my welcome gift to you when you joined the company. You are utterly shameless and heartless." As I spoke, Thin's face drained of color, inch by agonizing inch. He knelt down, helplessly, his eyes bloodshot. "Grace, I was seduced by Mia. I broke it off with her yesterday. I truly know I was wrong." I watched him expressionlessly. "You'll pay for your own mistakes. I don't make a habit of cleaning up someone else's mess. That car, which you defiled, I've already sent to be scrapped." He crawled on his knees and clung to my legs, crying hysterically. "Grace, don't leave me. Please forgive me. You're the only one I've ever loved. Mia was just a diversion. I never thought about being serious with her. You clearly loved me so much. You even risked your life to take a bullet for me. How can a love like ours just fall apart like that?" I kicked him away, my voice bitterly cold. "Feelings change, and people change. I won't look back. I'll only move forward, and loving you, that's my regret." With that, I didn't spare him another glance. Turning to walk toward the car parked by the roadside, Liam had been waiting for me in the car. H tried to get out several times, but it stopped him. The matter between Ethan and me, I had to resolve it myself. Liam, he only needed to give me a future. Ethan broke down crying. He tried to follow, but two police officers stopped him. "Mr. Taylor, you are suspected in a hit-and-run case. Please cooperate with the investigation." Ethan was taken to the detention center originally. The accident victim had agreed to settle privately, but Mia, her face covered in blood, cried and begged him to call the police. Claiming she too had been deceived by the scumbag, the victim immediately called the police and declared he wouldn't tolerate such a scumbag. Half a month later, Ethan finally walked out of the detention center. The intimate video of him and Mia in the car had long since gone viral across the internet. However, in the video, Mia's face was pixelated and blurred throughout online. There was an outpouring of vitriol, and doxing attempts were relentless. Some even launched polls, collectively urging them to just enter the adult entertainment industry in the neighboring country, asserting they would definitely make a fortune. Ethan had been dumped by me, lost his job, and with nothing left, he was practically socially annihilated. Even his friends kicked him when he was down, sarcastically pressing him to pay the $5 million H lost in a bet. Ethan completely broke down. He chugged bottle after bottle of hard liquor, then drunkenly climbed onto the rooftop. Mia was fired from the company. She despised Ethan for mercilessly dumping her. After the car accident, her life or death was uncertain, yet Ethan had abandoned her and run. She went to confront Ethan. Just as she saw him swaying precariously on the rooftop, Mia suddenly smiled. Ethan, did you really think you could keep treating me as a plaything? A tool for your urges? I recorded the video in the car. I published that post. I reported you to the company. And I called the police about your hit and run. How do you like that? Surprised? It was you. Ethan staggered in shock, then missed a step and plummeted from the building. Mia shuddered, laughing through her tears. Who told you not to like me? Who told you to marry her? You deserved it. Days later, the news reported the fall from the building, and Ethan succumbed to his injuries. The sole witness at the scene, Mia, was diagnosed with severe mental health issues after a psychiatric evaluation and was sent to a mental institution. I silently deleted the video from my phone. In fact, the day after I got the video, I realized something. The camera angle could only have come from inside the car. No one but Mia could have taken it. What's more, directly across from Ethan's parking spot was a solid advertising wall, with no parking spaces at all, which further solidified my judgment. Liam put his arm around me. It's alright, wife. Don't overthink it. They reaped what they sowed. You didn't do anything wrong. I leaned my head on his shoulder. Yes, they deserved it. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any thoughts about this story, feel free to share them in the comment section.